This is me in Switzerland, wearing a $99 pair of pants from Lululemon that I've owned for a decade. I've traveled in them, grocery shopped in them, and gone to yoga classes in them. But the real downward dog right now is that the company is struggling to stay relevant. Most recently, it missed Wall Street's sales estimates, and for the first time in more than 2 years, the company reduced its predictions of how much money it will make for the entire year. So why did this happen? What does it mean? And does that mean Lululemon is dying? Let's explore with analysis and data. Let's start with the data. 80% of Lululemon sales a decade ago came from its leggings product. When people thought about leggings, they thought about Lululemon.
These leggings don't get the hype they deserve. They're from Lululemon. They're the Lululemon Wonder Train Contour Fit. The Contour Fit means that this, from this waist down, is size 6, and right here is size 4. So it honey, it snatches you in.
I have never owned Lululemon, nor did I understand the hype of these leggings, but just look, just watch. What is this? Excuse me. I didn't know I could look like this. I look so good.
They led the whole athleisure trend and defined that culture for a long time. But that doesn't appear to be the case anymore, especially as the company has been giving mixed results to investors. While Lululemon failed to meet sales expectations, the company beat Wall Street's earnings expectations. Now, if you're not familiar with the world of finance, let's very quickly break that down in an easy-to-understand way. When the company beats on earnings like Lululemon did, it means that the company reported higher profits than what Wall Street analysts had expected. Wall Street analysts are people who make financial predictions based on their own research. These analysts work at investment banks like Goldman Sachs, research firms, independent companies. These Wall Street analysts use this information to estimate revenue of a company, earnings per share of a company, and net income of a company. These predictions usually help investors who put their money into the company make decisions about whether they should invest or not. So analysts do research, they make predictions, and these predictions help investors. In the case of Lululemon, the company missed beating the sales estimates that analysts had predicted, but beat its profits estimates. So what do these mixed signals mean? In the simplest form, it means the company failed to sell products but still made a profit, which can be done in many ways other than just selling merch. When there's mixed data like this, it means that the stock price of the company might see some instability as investors weigh the pros and cons of investing in Lululemon. Some questions investors might have include, will this company grow in the future by increasing its sales? Does the company have too much competition? Are there larger trends like economic uncertainty or something else that will affect how people like me and you shop or spend our money? To outline these things, I'll break this episode down into 2 categories. First, I'll talk about the things that are not working in Lululemon's favor right now, and why the company is struggling to meet those sales expectations. The second thing we'll discuss are things that actually are working in the company's favor and things that might save the company going forward. By the way, if you're new to The Devil Wears Data, I'm a former Wall Street journalist who launched this channel to explore the money and business side of fashion and beauty. You don't have to have knowledge about fashion, beauty, business, or finance to be here, but you'll learn about all 4. So subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. And also make sure to like this video because it really helps small channels like mine. Okay, let's get started with the struggles of Lululemon. First is products. Lululemon recently had a failed product launch. The company introduced its Breeze Through leggings in early July, but the product wasn't well received by buyers, with many complaining about the fit.
And just like that, the Breeze Through leggings are no more. I'm kind of shocked by this. They've taken them off the shelf. They're not selling them. They said they're going to reevaluate and hopefully come out with a better product based on the criticism. But good for Lululemon for actually listening to their customers and their customers' feedback. I was pretty kind in my review. The fit is bad. The fit is bad.
Apparently, I wasn't the only one who was somewhat disappointed in the fit and the fabric of these, because this article is talking about all these people who are unhappy with them. So apparently they pulled the leggings so that they could workshop them, which leads me to, why would we launch a product that wasn't ready for market?
On a call, the CEO of Lululemon, Calvin McDonald, said the Breathe Through launch was the company trying to test and learn what people want.
One of our goals is to solve for the unmet needs of our guests with new and compelling technical innovations, and this will continue to separate us from other brands. With this in mind, I want to touch on Breeze Through, a new product offering this quarter for guests who participate in hot yoga and other heat-intensive workouts. It was a small buy. We viewed this as a test and learn, and while guests were excited by the fabric, the design didn't meet their expectations. This decision had a negligible impact on our performance in this quarter.
Okay, so even though the fabric launch was a miss, the launch didn't have a big impact on sales. But the company has also recently struggled with other issues like lack of assortment in colors and sizes that people who love Lululemon desired from the company.
I got the breeze-through leggings in the mail from Lululemon yesterday, and here are my first impressions. For one, they're very thin and lightweight, kind of slippery. They kind of remind me of like satin, obviously not as soft, but it just, I don't know, like the weight and like the feel of it kind of reminds me of satin or like silk or something like that, which is nice, which is probably breathable for the summer and working out. But they are so thin, and I'm nervous of them being so sheer. I didn't do a squat test, but I don't know. Cute concept. I like the no front seam. Obviously, it doesn't like bunch up like my Alpha Lee or my navigation leggings, which is good. However, I don't think I'm going to keep them just because they are so thin. I'm nervous of them either tearing, breaking a stitch, or like rubbing up on something and it snags.
On the same call, McDonald said Lululemon's women's business has slowed down in the US, and he attributes this to lack of style. The company's menswear continues to grow according to data from their last call. But a lot of people feel that Lululemon's quality and product has actually decreased in the last few years. Here are just some anecdotes that I found online of people talking about how they no longer shop there or don't really like the quality of clothes that are being sold. So that may be contributing to why the sales are down, which brings me to my second point. Have you seen the competition? By the way, there are other places you can keep in touch with the Devil Wears data that go beyond YouTube. This is in case we ever lose touch here. You can follow me on LinkedIn, and I have a newsletter where I share further insights about my videos. All these links will be in the description below and in the comments. Okay, now let's talk about the competition. Lululemon has built an athleisure empire, but other companies have popped up to steal some of that limelight from the company. In the last week of May of this year, Lululemon was the worst performing stock in the entire S&P 500, which measures the performance of the 500 largest and most influential publicly traded companies in the US. Part of the reason is that athleisure is becoming a crowded market. Companies like Alo and Voiri have popped up, and the brands look a lot like Lululemon do, with similar merch and price tags. And these brands have certainly piqued the interest of influencers online.
Is Lululemon or Alo Yoga better? I actually buy very frequently from both brands, so I'm pretty unbiased. I have both of their most popular black leggings, and I'm going to compare them today.
If you're like me and you're like an OG Lululemon Align fan, like this is before they've added a new layer. Like what is this? I literally went to Lululemon and I bought these yesterday, and I just filmed 3 workouts in them. Love them, they're great. However, I just change outfits because I'm filming a different workout, and I put on this new set. This is better than Align, and I literally just took the Aligns off. These are better than Align.
But the competition isn't just online. A Bernstein analysis published in the Wall Street Journal shows that Alo and Voiri are increasingly encroaching on Lululemon's physical turf, with 90% of Voiri stores operating within 0.5 miles of Lulu and 84% of Alo's shops doing the same. People are also finding athleisure in other, more unconventional places.
I got some flare yoga pants in from Amazon. Let's open them up. I wanted a black pair of these so I could wear them with my Ugg slippers because I got those in black too. Oh, these look cute. They have the little V waist, so they're gonna be really flattering. Let's put them on. Okay, hold on. I am shook. These are so good.
And moving on to the third point, economic and consumer trends. When you look at the data, sales growth in North America is slowing down. Pre-pandemic, Lululemon sales in the US and Canada were growing at a healthy rate at around 20% a year. Then during the pandemic, gyms closed down. But when gyms opened up again, people rushed to buy workout gear, causing spike in sales in 2021. But sales have since been slowing down. We see this slowdown hitting other companies too, like Nike. People are also opting for cheaper or newer options than the ones that have previously existed. Randy Connick, an analyst at investment bank Jefferies, recently told CNBC that people are moving away from Lululemon-style leggings and more toward a wide-leg product, which other companies serve better. Simon Siegel, an analyst at BMO Capital Markets, said Lululemon's brand could now be saturated and at risk of leading early adopters to new and emerging brands. Lastly, people feel the burden of economic pressures this year. There has also been a cutback in spending on expensive clothes more broadly, and Lululemon may be victim to these broader market trends, along with all of what's happening internally within the company. So, what comes next? Can it go up from here? Let's discuss what's working for the company and what Wall Street is saying. By the way, I tag all my sources on LinkedIn when I can or when I have their consent, so make sure you're following me there to get updates about future videos and sources. All right, What's working for Lulu? Let's talk about that. And can it make a possible comeback? While many international brands are struggling in China, which we talked about in my video on why Gucci is struggling right now, Lululemon isn't one of them. The company has had a decade-old presence in China, and Lululemon's performance in China shows growth on the back of the country's 500 million middle-class people who are increasingly embracing an active lifestyle. This has helped Lululemon's growth in the country this year, despite facing competition from cheaper brands. In the latest reported quarter, the company's net revenue increased by 34% and comparable sales increased 23% in mainland China. Lululemon has a growth strategy called the Power of 3x2, which aims to double its revenue from men's products, online sales, and international sales by 2026, increasing from $6.25 billion in 2021 to $12.5 billion. Whether this strategy will be successful despite its current challenges has yet to be seen, but some analysts are hopeful, especially this guy, Jim Cramer, who hosts a show called Mad Money. He was a former hedge fund manager and has hit and miss predictions about various stocks. Another thing working in Lululemon's favor is their online presence. In the past, pre-pandemic, they were really reliant on their physical storefronts for sales. But now, the company, which has around 700 stores around the world, also has a thriving e-commerce presence when you look at the data. But one thing on investors' minds this year was the departure of Sun Cho, the company's chief product officer who left earlier this year. The reason there has been so much talk about Cho is because she joined as senior vice president of merchandising in December 2016 and had been chief product officer since 2018. And under her, sales grew fourfold over her tenure at the company, with many attributing the company's product success to her. A Barclays analyst, Adrian Yee, recently told Yahoo Finance that they never stop innovating. They never think they have enough. They never think they're winning enough. And that was when Sun Cho was still at the company. So when her departure was announced, investors worried about how much the company would be able to uphold that innovation, especially after the botched product launch this summer. Many people have also complained online about the reduced quality of the products, including complaining about the fit, stitch, fabric, and so much more. So these pants that I bought 10 years ago that are still fully functional today might not be reflective of how their products are made today. So with products changing, increased market competition, and broader economic factors, the company is having a tough time staying relevant. Some investors and analysts, as well as the company's CEO, believe that the company will make a comeback by focusing on menswear and fixing up things in the women's wear collection and introducing new fits and colors and sizes to women's wear and focusing on international markets like China. But with so many other options out on the market, will that be enough? Let me know what you think and let me know if you plan on shopping at Lululemon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.